G'day guys, my name is Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Michelle by the Beatles, which is an awesome tune. I'll teach you how to play the rhythm guitar and also the lead guitar as well. For the basics, we'll just need our guitar in standard tuning and a capo on the 5th fret of our guitar. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in guitar in general, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. All right, let's jump into the lesson. Let's start off with the intro, which is a lot of fun to play, and there's one line of tab here. We're going to start off with a C minor triad shape here. So we have our ring finger on the 5th fret relative to the capo on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and index on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. We're going to start by plucking the 3rd string, and then we'll pluck the 2nd and 1st strings together like that. Now all of these notes are on the beat, so 1, 2. On the 3-4 beat, we change shapes. We'll keep our index finger where it is, but we'll lift our ring and middle finger and put that middle finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string and ring finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string. We'll do the same thing, but we'll pluck the 3rd string and then the 1st and 2nd together. So the first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For the second bar, we'll keep our ring finger where it is this time, and we'll lift our index and middle finger. We're basically going to get into a chord shape that looks very familiar to a D chord, but it's up 1 fret. So 3rd frets of the 1st and 3rd and 4th fret of the 2nd string. We'll pluck this the same way, 3rd string and then 1st and 2nd. For the next position after that, we'll just slide our index finger down 1 fret and keep the other fingers where they are. So the second bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For the third bar, we'll bar our index finger on the 1st fret across the 3rd, 2nd and 1st strings, and we'll have our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. We'll pluck the 3rd string and then the 1st and 2nd together. You'll lift your ring finger and pluck the 1st and 2nd strings again. Then with your pinky finger, come onto the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and we'll pluck the 3rd and 2nd strings together. So these 4 plucks, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and finally for the 4th bar, we get into a G chord shape, and we're going to strum this with a down, 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 up, down, up. Now at this point, it's worth mentioning that this song has a swing feel to it. So it's not a straight feel where we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the down beats are held out longer than the up beats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the rhythmic feel for this song. So that G chord one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Put that all together and the intro will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So now we get into the chorus of the song, and there's 2 lines of chords here. So we're going to start with the C chord shape. The strumming pattern we're going to use for the majority of this song is going to go like this. Down, 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 up, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and basically what we had for the G chord in the intro. So we had the C chord for one strumming pattern, then we go to an F minor 7. So from the C chord, keep your ring finger where it is. You'll bar your index finger across the entire 1st fret, and your pinky finger, if you can, goes up to the 4th fret of the 2nd string. Now this is quite a tricky chord to fret fully for all 6 strings. So if you just have the strings ringing out from the 6th to the 2nd string ringing out, that's okay as well. Or if you want to really simplify it even further and you're struggling with that F minor 7, you can just keep your ring finger where it is, put your pinky finger on that 4th fret of the 2nd string, and with your index finger just focus on barring the 1st frets of the 4th and 3rd strings, or those strings in between the ring and pinky. And that's a lot easier. You won't get that F bass note, but this should still be enough. Then we have a B flat chord shape, so index finger on the 1st fret of the 5th string, and you can have all 3 of your fingers on the 3rd fret of the 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. And we're just focusing on those middle 4 strings. Or instead, because it is quite cramped, especially further up the neck, you can use your ring finger to bar across the 3rd frets of the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. You're just basically flattening your ring finger on those strings. And with your index finger, you only need to apply pressure onto that first fret of the 5th string. So that's how we can play the B flat. And then we have A diminished 7. So index and middle finger on the first frets of the 4th and 2nd, and ring and pinky finger on the 2nd frets of the 3rd and 1st. And we can strum from the 5th string onwards. So we can have an open 5th string there. That's A diminished 7. So we got some interesting chords here. They're not the easiest chords to play, but they sound great in the song. So C, F minor 7, B flat, and then A diminished 7. And each chord is played with that simple strumming pattern. So the first line of chords. For the second line of chords, we go to a G chord, and then an A diminished 7. Now those two chords are contained within the one bar. So the suggested strumming pattern is going to change a tiny bit. It's going to be down, down, up, down, down, up. And we're going to change on the 3 beat. So down, down, up, down, down, up. And then we go back to a G chord for the second bar for our regular strumming pattern. So the second line of chords. And that's it for the chorus chord progression, which will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember when you're strumming this to have that swing feel. So remember the down strokes are held out longer than the upstrokes. Next is the verse chord progression, and there's 2 lines of chords here. So we're going to start with a C minor bar chord like this. Now this C minor bar chord shape is basically the same as an F major bar chord shape, but we shift everything up 2 frets, and we're going to shift this shape so that the root note is that 3rd fret of the 5th string. So that's our C minor. We're going to play this for 2 full bars of the strumming pattern. Then we go to an E flat 7. So to play that, with your pinky finger, keep it on the same string and just shift it up 1 fret. Your ring finger will go onto that same fret, but on the 5th string. Middle finger will go onto the 5th fret of the 4th string, and then index finger will go onto the 4th fret of the 2nd string. And we're just focusing on those middle 4 strings. You don't want the 6th or the 1st string to ring out. That's our E flat 7. And then we'll go to an A flat bar chord. So keep your ring finger where it is, pivot around that point, and just play a major bar chord shape like that. So it's basically the same as an F bar chord shape, but up at the 4th fret for our root note. Now, if this bar chord shape is getting uncomfortable for you to play, especially up at these higher positions on the neck, you can just use this thumb version of the bar chord if you wanted to. So keep your middle ring and pinky finger where they are. Just move your index finger up to that 2nd string only. Don't worry about the 1st string ringing out. And with your thumb, reach over the top to hit the root note. So that's an alternative way of playing the full bar chord. And it can often be a lot more comfortable to play. You'll see Paul McCartney do this when he plays it live as well. For the rest of this lesson and in the playthrough, I will be using this positioning with the thumb, but you could use the regular bar chord shape as well if you wanted to. So the first line of chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the second line of chords, we go down to a G chord. Now from the A flat, you can just move everything down 1 fret and play the exact same shape, whether that's the bar chord version or the version where I'm just using my thumb. For the rest of this lesson and in the playthrough, I'll be using the thumb for these chords. So that's the G, and then we go back up to a C minor for 1 full bar. And then we play the riff that's played at the start of the song, so the intro riff. Now from the C minor bar chord, to transition to that riff, instead of changing your fingering entirely, we're already playing a C minor. So what you can do from the C minor bar chord is just lift your index that's barring it, keep your middle and pinky fingers where they are and just put that index finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string from that C minor. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then play the riff. And that's the verse in total, which will sound like this. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... And those are all the rhythm parts to the song, which is quite simple. There's just the intro, which is the main riff, the chorus chord progression, and the verse chord progression. So now I'll teach you the guitar solo, and there's 2 lines of tab here, and it's a really interesting solo, really fun to play. Now, since the capo is on the 5th fret from the rhythm portion of the song, I'm just gonna leave it here and teach you how to play the solo with a capo on the 5th fret. However, it's probably a little bit more comfortable to play it without a capo, but if you're playing this by yourself, for example, you don't want to be taking the capo on and off. Okay, so for our first bar, we're going to start with the 3rd fret of the 5th string relative to the capo. And we're going to play that with our middle finger. And then we have a 3-note run after this. So that 3rd fret, the open 4th string, and then the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So for the next 3-note run, we move our index finger up 1 fret, so 3rd fret, then 5th fret with our ring finger, and then up 1 fret to the 6th fret. So that 3-note run. Now after we hit that 6th fret, we're gonna let it ring out and then slide it down to 1st fret where we'll pluck it one more time. So we'll slide it down to 1st fret and then pluck it once we get there. And so far. For the 3rd bar, we start off with the open 4th string, and then our 3-note run will be open 4th string, 1st fret, and 3rd fret. So, and to finish this bar, we end on the 1st fret of the 5th string. So this 3rd bar. And then for the 4th bar, we go to the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then the next 3-note run will be 3rd fret of the 5th, open 4th, and then 1st fret of the 4th string. And then we end this bar with the open 5th string by itself. So the 4th bar. That's it for the first line of tab, which sounds like this. For the second line of tab, we go to the 2nd fret of the 5th string with our middle finger. Then we'll hit the open 5th string, 1st fret of the 4th string, 3rd fret of the 5th, and then back down to the 2nd fret. And so far. And the final lick we have here is the scale run up. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, then open 5th, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open 4th string, and then end on the 1st fret of the 4th string. So that run all together. And the second line of tab. Now with that final run at the end of the solo, I like to start with an upstroke. So it's all alternate picking, but I start on an upstroke. And the solo in total with the capo on 5th fret. Now, when the solo is played the second time towards the end of the song, it's basically the same thing played through twice. And for that final run, the first time round we play it, instead of going to that 1st fret of the 4th string, we just go back to the 3rd fret of the 5th string to repeat that whole solo again. And that will sound like this, going from the end of the 2nd line of tab to the start of the 3rd line of tab for the 2nd playthrough of the solo. Etc, etc. Now if you wanted to play the solo without a capo, here's how you do it. I'm not going to explain everything, I'll just play it and I'll show you the tabs down below as well so you can follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are all the parts to this song. Now in terms of structure, what we have is the intro, then the chorus chord progression is played through twice, then we have verse 1, another chorus but just played through once this time, then verse number 2. Then there's the solo section. Now for the solo section, the chord progression for the rhythm is just the same as the chorus. Then we get to verse number 3, and then there's another chorus. Then there's a break, and that's just the same as the intro, the main riff, essentially. Then there's the 2nd solo section, and again, it's just the chorus chord progression, but with that lead guitar played on top. Now, in the studio recording, it just sort of fades out from that point onwards, but when Paul McCartney plays this live, what he'll actually do is he'll just play that solo section once instead of twice, but I'm going to play it through twice, and then what he does is he ends the song with basically the intro. So that's more or less the structure of the song and what I'm going to be doing with the upcoming playthrough. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song with a vocal track on top for some context. Big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here, or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.